lazy dancing line. The morning paper's open to the page on chapter 9, but I can't seem to focus. I lose the words, I lose the time. Just watching you across the table, a feeling so sublime. There's a silent conversation, a sweet anticipation, a brand new destination. And it feels like falling leaves, a gentle, easy grace. And there's cinnamon in the air in this quiet little place. I think I see a universe reflected in your face, a perfect kind of magic that time cannot erase. The barista knows my order, but today it feels brand new. Everything is different when I'm sharing it with you. The city noise is muted, the skies are brighter blue, and I'm hoping that you feel it, I'm hoping that you do. Maybe it's the season, maybe it's just us, building something beautiful from particles of dust. In this quiet little moment, it's a fragile thing to trust. Cinnamon in the air, feels like I'm already there with you.
I woke up this morning and the world was not on fire. The hole inside my chest was not a funeral pyre. It was just a hollow space, a quiet, low desire for something that I know now is a note from a broken lyre. I didn't check my phone to see if you had tried to call. I didn't brace myself against the wall, expecting to fall. I just sat there in the silence, feeling empty, feeling small. And for the first time in forever, I wasn't feeling anything at all. The storm has passed me over, the hurricane is through. All that's left is wreckage and a sky of faded blue, and a strange and new acceptance of a life that isn't you. And this must be the first day of the quiet that's to come, where the screaming in my heart has finally become a gentle hum. I am not brave or strong yet, I am still completely numb, but I am not drowning anymore, just tapping on a drum with a slow and steady rhythm to a future that feels dumb. But at least it feels like mine now, every single little crumb. I am adding up the pieces of a very different sum on the first real lonely day of the quiet that's to come. I made a list of things to do, mundane and simple things, like buy some milk and fix the broken silent doorbell rings. I'm learning how to live again without the puppet strings of hoping and of waiting for the message that love brings. I won't say that it is easy, I won't say that I am healed. There is a truth in missing you that will not be concealed, but the wound is not as open on this brand new battlefield. It's a scar that I will carry, a fate that has been sealed. I'm not looking for a reason, not looking for a cure, just a quiet place to sit with all the things I must endure. And the silence that you left me feels a little more mature, a little less like punishment, a little more demure. The first day of the quiet, a gentle, steady hum of what's to come, what I'll become in the quiet.
The shops are all closed down now. The city's gone to sleep. Just the rhythm of our footsteps on the promises we keep. The moon hangs like a lantern, secrets in the deep. And your hand in mine's the only warmth I really need to read. No need to say a word now. Every thought is heard now, like a silent soaring bird now. This is our cobblestone serenade, a song without a sound, just the echo of our presence on this old and sacred ground. In the quiet of the autumn night, a universe is found. With you I'm safe, with you I'm home, forever lost and bound. A yellow leaf is falling, dancing in the air. It lands upon your shoulder, and I just have to stare. A tiny perfect moment beyond any compare. A silent vow, a simple truth, a feeling that we share. We don't need the grand displays, the fireworks and light, just this simple, easy feeling in the stillness of the night. Everything that matters is standing in my sight. Our serenade. Our serenade. On the cobblestone, walking home with you. Found an old photograph tucked inside a book. The edges are all faded, got that worn out look. It was me and you in autumn by that little crooked brook. A stolen glance, the nervous laugh, the single chance we took. And the memory plays in slow motion, a ripple on the ocean, a forgotten sweet emotion. We were painted in the colors of the setting sun, you and I, a faded watercolor underneath the hazy sky. It wasn't meant to last forever, we never questioned why. Just a perfect fleeting moment that will never truly die. The coffee's getting cold now, the cafe's closing soon. I'm humming to myself a long forgotten tune. It echoes in the quiet of this lonely afternoon, shining softly in my memory, just like the pale autumn moon. Some stories are in novels, they're just a single page, a beautiful brief chapter on a quickly turning stage. But I wouldn't trade that moment for wisdom or for age, a faded watercolor, hazy sky, never die, no.
When the waters rise and the compass starts to spin, and you can tell the difference where you end and you begin. When the noise outside is trying to get in, just take a breath and let the quiet wash away the sin. You don't have to say a thing, you don't have to make a sound. I can read the silent plea when no one else is around. I'll be the lighthouse heart you're looking for tonight, a steady beam of light to make the darkness bright. When your own ship is lost and drifting out of sight, just look for me, I'll burn for you with all my might. When the static on the radio is all that you can hear, and the ghost of yesterday are whispering in your ear. When you're running on empty, fueled only by your fear, just let my silence hold you and make it disappear. It isn't a choice I make, it's not a role I play. It's the ground on which I stand at the closing of the day, to be the one who waits for you, to be the one who'll stay. A steady beat, a quiet light, just look for me throughout the I used to have my feet planted firmly on the ground. I knew which way was up, I knew the safety in the sound of your breathing next to me, the most familiar thing I'd found. You were the northern star I navigated all around.
But since you left, the laws of physics don't apply to me. I'm floating in the stillness of a dark and silent sea. There's nothing here to hold on to, no branch of any tree, just a weightless kind of panic for the world to see.
I'm breathing in and breathing out, it doesn't feel the same.
It's like I'm just a photograph without a picture frame,
a forgotten astronaut who's lost track of the game. 'Cause the gravity's gone and I'm spinning away. There's no night and there's no morning, just an endless lonely day. I was so used to the comfort of the role I had to play, as the one who had you within, come what may. Now the tether has been broken and I'm drifting through the gray, and all the pretty stars look like they have nothing left to say. I was getting so accustomed to you saving me from the fray. Now the gravity is gone and I am floating in dismay. Ooh.
coffee cup is floating from my tired, careless hand. The words I read are jumbled, I can't seem to understand. I am a citizen of some strange and foreign land, a kingdom of one person built on shifting lonely sand.
I see the world go on below a distant pretty light, a blue and green reminder of what used to feel so right. I'm stuck here in the silence of an everlasting night, a satellite with no one left to guide its lonely flight.
I'm reaching out for something solid, something I can feel,
to prove this disconnection isn't totally real. But all my hands can find is this cold and empty steel of the ship I built around me, the wounds that never heal. The gravity's gone, the gravity's gone,
spinning away,
spinning away,
drifting through the gray,
drifting through the gray.
come what may,
Come what may,
there's no other way,
there's no other way,
there's no other way,
there's no other way.
The moon outside is pale and thin, a sliver in the dark. I'm watching you beside me, a precious work of art.
Your breathing is a rhythm that has memorized my heart, and I'm terrified of morning when the real world has to start.
'Cause this happiness feels fragile, like a vase upon a shelf.
It's a secret that I'm keeping from my cynical old self,
A quiet kind of magic, or a trick played by an elf. A treasure that I'm scared to lose for glory or for wealth. And so I hold my own breath and I try not to make a sound,
just listening to the quiet of this holy sacred ground.
the most perfect thing that I have ever found. And these are the porcelain hours, beautiful and bright. I'm handling them so carefully in the pale and hazy light. I'm wishing on the dust motes that are dancing in their flight. Please don't let this feeling break before the coming of the night. 'Cause every time you smile at me, my world just falls away.
And I'm left here in the beauty of the things you never say.
I'm praying that these porcelain hours are here to stay,
And the dawn will come and chase this perfect, fragile dream away.
I trace the lines upon your hand, a map I've learned to read.
The story.
The world outside is rushing by on frantic, hurried feet, a symphony of sirens on a cold and lonely street. They're all chasing a deadline that they know they'll never meet, a victory that tastes a little bitter, not so sweet. But in here the clock is ticking with a slow and gentle grace. There's a universe between us in this ordinary space. You're sketching in your notebook with a frown upon your face, and I've never felt more perfectly or beautifully in place. We don't need the fancy restaurants, the glitter or the gold. We have a richer story that is waiting to be told, a shelter from the biting, lonely autumn cold. 'Cause all I'll ever need is this quiet room with you, watching the dust dance in the afternoon sun coming through. We could be anywhere on earth, and what we're saying may be true, but my home is not a building, it's the feeling of us two. So let the rain come down in sheets and paint the windows gray. We can just sit here in the silence and let the the hours drift away. 'Cause when I'm in this quiet room with you at the closing of the day, all the worries of the world just seem to melt and fade away. I watch you as you're reading and you bite your bottom lip, the way you do when you are at the story's finest tip. I could spend a lifetime on this quiet, peaceful trip, just learning all the details from the words that you let slip. You don't have to entertain me, you don't have to make a sound. The comfort of your presence is the truest thing I found. It's the anchor that I needed on this shifting, shaky ground. It's the peace that I was searching for the whole wide world around. We are building our own sanctuary, brick by quiet brick, a haven from the arguments, the clever and the quick. We found a kind of magic, a simple, gentle trick. Just being still together is what makes our own hearts tick. In this quiet room with you, the afternoon sun coming to you. There's nothing else I'd rather do than be right here with you. My mind was once a city with no map and with no streets, just tangled wires humming to chaotic broken beats. A restless piece of architecture full of false retreats, a puzzle I gave up on, accepting all defeat. But then you came along, a quiet steady hand. You drew a new foundation in the shifting sand, something I could finally understand. You are the blueprint lines that brought my walls to peace. You are the structure where the shaking finally ceased. You gave me cornerstones, a beautiful release. In the architecture of your love, my soul has found its lease. I used to build my fortress just to watch it fall apart, a fragile house of cards right from the very start. I didn't have the tools, I didn't have the heart to craft a home for all my broken, weary parts. You didn't tear it down, you didn't rearrange. You just held the light for me to see the hope in change. You showed me how to build within my own two-handed range. The blueprint lane, the blueprint line, finally at peace, a beautiful release in you. In you. We're walking through a carpet made of amber, red and brown. The trees are slowly letting all their summer treasures down. There's a quiet sort of beauty in this sleepy, gentle town, as it puts on its pajamas and its golden evening gown. I see a brilliant scarlet leaf, it reminds me of your smile. The day we met for coffee and we talked a little while. And the yellow one reminds me of the sweet and gentle style you showed me when I'd lost my way for more than just a mile. It's like the whole world showing me a gallery of us, in every gust of wind now, in every little fuss.
a quiet confirmation of a deep and steady trust. And I'm no longer wishing, 'cause I'm finally living in the answer to the prayers and to the places I have been. Every leaf that's falling is where a new vow can begin, to cherish every moment and the magic held within. So let them fall around us in a soft and gentle rain, a reminder of the joy and a release from all the pain. I see our future written here, so beautiful and plain, again and again and again. Remember how we used to think that love was for the lucky, a game of chance for players who were brave and strong and plucky. We were watching from the sidelines, feeling small and strange and mucky, convinced that kind of story for our lives would be unlucky. But standing here beside you with the cool air on my face, I feel like I've been given some amazing holy grace, to have found my one and only, my own time and my own space, a winner in a slow and steady, patient, happy race. So I pick a single perfect leaf and keep it in a book, a souvenir of this one day, of this one special look, the moment when the wishing and the hoping that it took became the quiet certainty of a fish upon a hook. Every leaf a memory, every leaf a vow. It's not a wish, it's real right now. Somehow my then and my now, every single leaf a vow. Again, again, again. You're tracing patterns on the glass where the condensation grew. You're humming some forgotten song, a little out of tune. You got a faded coffee stain there on your left-hand sleeve, and it's these little imperfections that make me believe I'm not looking for a fairy tale, no knight in shining steel. I'm just looking for a hand to hold something true and real. 'Cause this right here is everything I'll ever need to find you. Your messy hair, your sleepy eyes, the way your thoughts unwind. It's not a grand design, it's just a quiet, gentle kind. It's the ordinary magic that keeps me intertwined. First met in that crowded little place. You had a nervous energy, a smile you couldn't place. We were in movie characters, we didn't win the race. We just slowly found our footing at our own simple pace. People searched their whole lives for a firework display, but I would trade it all to have this quiet rainy day. Just sitting here beside you with nothing left to say. Ordinary magic, the gentle kind, the kind you let me find in you.
It's not a slamming, locked and bolted, heavy iron door. sun that appears when the fog clears. Some stories aren't meant to have a perfect happy end. Sometimes a lover's purpose is to be a different kind of friend, the kind that breaks your heart to help it finally learn to mend. Just faded ink, a gentle memory, a part of me that set me free.
There's a shoebox in the closet full of moments past in time. The colors are all faded from a distant city climb. Here's the one from that first autumn. It felt like such a crime to be so young and happy with a future left to climb. You had that awkward haircut, I was wearing my dad's coat. We were standing by the river on a rusty tethered boat. There's a nervous kind of wonder in the letter that you wrote, that I keep here in the pages of the book on which I dote. And every picture tells a piece of how we came to be, a messy, unplanned collage for the whole wide world to see. A quiet, gentle history of you and me. We are more than just this moment, we are every single day. We're the faded Polaroids that show we found our own true way. We're the coffee rings on napkins and the silly games we play. We're the whispered conversations when there's nothing left to say. And when I look at you right now, I don't just see your face. I see the shy young kid who met me in a crowded, noisy place. I see every single memory filled with glory, filled with grace. You're not just my love, you are my own time and my space. Here's the one from that old concert. The image is a blur. We were dancing in the back row, just a simple him and her. I remember how the music made my weary spirit stir, and the only thing that mattered was the way that we both were. And here's that rainy Tuesday, we were stuck inside for days. We built a fort with blankets in a sleepy sunlit haze. We were lost inside our own world through 100 different ways, and that feeling still remains through all of life's confusing maze. Some people want a love that's like a firework so bright, exploding in the darkness with a brilliant fleeting light. But I prefer this scrapbook that we read to ourselves at night, a testament that our quiet love is burning ever bright. Just faded Polaroid, just story to be told, more precious than gold, a hand to hold as we grow old, a story to be told. Ooh, ooh. The sunlight on the wooden floor is drawing golden lines. The only sounds are turning page and your hand touching mine. We don't have a plan today, no mountains left to climb. We're just wasting all this precious, precious, precious time. And I wouldn't trade it for the world,
For any diamond, any pearl,
as our quiet flag is unfurled. This is all I ever wanted, this Sunday kinda still. The lazy morning shadows stretching out against the sill. To know that when the world gets loud and I have had my fill, I can come back to this peace with you, and I know I always will.
the dust is dancing in the light. silent, slow ballet.
We could be a million miles or just a world away. There is nothing we must do, there is nothing we must say. Just let the hours drift on by and fade into the gray. We are building our own haven from the chaos and the rush.
In the sacred, gentle quiet, in the calm and peaceful hush. A love that doesn't have to shout, a love that's learned to trust.
This Sunday stillness,
I know I always will
come back to this still
with you.
I made a pot coffee just the way I always do. Poured a cup for me and then I went to pour for you. And my hand just rose there hanging in the empty air. Cause it's a habit that my heart can't seem to unshare. I shook my head and laughed a little, a hollow, lonely sound at this muscle memory that follows me around. It's in the way I take the long way home past your old streets. A quiet act of hoping for a meeting I can meet. It's funny how the silence has a weight you can't describe. A ghost inside the passenger seat when I go for a drive. I was anchored to a shoreline that is washed out with the tide. I'm getting used to the echo where your laughter used to be. I'm getting used to setting just one plate where there were three. I'm getting used to setting just one plate where there were three. Me and you in the future, we were once so sure to see. But the hardest part of all of this, the thing I cannot do, is get used to the quiet that you pulled me safely through. Down to the corner store to get away a while. Saw that magazine you loved and almost cracked a smile. Remember how you'd read the funny parts to me out loud. Now I'm just another lonely face inside a hurried crowd. The owner asked me how you've been. I didn't know what to say, so I just mumbled, oh, you know, and quickly looked away. Cause explaining that you're gone feels like I'm saying it's okay. And I'm not there yet, maybe not tomorrow, not today. Did I build my whole world on a fault line in the ground? Did I take the warmth for granted till the cold came back around? You were the steady rhythm and I've lost the steady sound. And I'm spinning in the stillness, going round and round and round. Getting used to the echo where there used to be two. Just a table for one and the quiet you pulled me through. It's all new. It's all new. The sky is turning from a deep dark gray to hazy blue.
The city is still sleeping, just a lonely car or two.
And I'm lying here beside you, and the only thing that's new
Is the quiet, calm conviction of my love for you.
I'm not thinking about a wedding or a diamond or a ring.
I'm not thinking of the big songs that the choirs always sing.
I'm just picturing a morning that the future's gonna bring. A simple, small, and ordinary, peaceful kind of thing.
It's not a grand adventure on a distant foreign shore.
It's something I wanted, even deeper, even more.
It's knocking right outside my heart's own front door.
I can see us 10 years from now, in a house that's small and old. You'll be complaining that my story has been told and been retold. I'll be making some days coffee to protect you from the cold.
A quiet kind of love story, more precious than pure gold.
The kids will be asleep upstairs, our own small hands to hold.
Look at me and smile, a story to unfold.
That's the future that I'm buying and the one that can't be
It's
sold.
the promise in this darkness that I will happily grow old.
You'll have a couple more gray hairs and I'll be much the same.
We'll know each other's punchlines to a long and happy game.
We'll still argue about the little things and who should take the blame.
But the love will be the fire, not just a flickering flame.
We'll have a couple pictures on the fridge held by a pin
of all the crazy, lovely little places we have been. And I'll know right in that moment, from somewhere deep within, that the only race that mattered is the one I got to win. 'Cause forever isn't one day, it's a million little nows. It's the unspoken promises, the silent, gentle vows. It's the branches that are growing on these old and sturdy boughs. It's the peace the heart allows.
Just making some days coffee
As our story will unfold,
more precious than pure gold, a hand to hold, a story to be told as we grow old. I bought some paint this morning, a shade of forest green, to cover up the empty space where your big map had been. I'm building my own landscape, a quiet, peaceful scene, a world where I can finally be my own uncontested queen. I took your pictures off the wall, but I didn't tear them up. I placed them in a wooden box beside a broken cup, a history I've moved on from, a bitter pill to sup. But now I'm pouring my own future, and I'm filling my own cup. The air in here feels lighter, and the floors feel strong and new. I'm not defined by what was done by someone else like you. I'm finally seeing my own world from my own point of view. And I am busy painting my own scenery today, with colors that you told me were just boring shades of gray. I am humming my own melody in my own clumsy way, and I'm listening to the quiet words I really wanna say. This canvas isn't for you, and it isn't for a crowd. It's just for me, it's spoken in a voice that isn't loud. I'm emerging from the shadow of your dark and stormy cloud, and of this simple, quiet picture I have never been more proud. I'm planting a small garden on the barren windowsill, a little patch of patience, a little patch of will. I'm watching as the water slowly, gently starts to spill on the thirsty ground that's waited for so long to have its fill. I'm rediscovering the person that I was before we met, a little bit more careful, but with nothing to regret. This is not a sad story, I am not a burning dead. I'm a sunrise that you slept through, a dawn you haven't seen yet. And maybe someday this quiet world I've grown. Painting my own scenery, a shade of forest green, a quiet, peaceful, lovely scene, the best I've ever seen. My own serene new scenery.
The rain is drawing rivers on the misty window glass. The hurried people rush on by, their moments fly so fast. But in a corner of the world, the time will never pass. We've built a tiny fortress that was always meant to last. You're pointing out the freckles on my arm and on my hand. You say they are a galaxy in some forgotten land. You're connecting all the dots now with a soft and gentle strand. A story only you and I could ever understand. And all the noise just fades into a distant gentle hum. The worries of the future and the place that we've come from. In this moment, you and I are the only thing to come. We're mapping out our little constellation in this room, escaping from the shadows, escaping from the gloom. We're a secret garden where the quiet flowers bloom. A story whispered softly, weaving on a lover's loom. Let the rest of them go chasing comets in the sky. Let them wish upon the fallen stars that quickly hurry by. My entire universe is reflected in your eye. A truth that is too beautiful and pure to be a lie. Our coffee cups are empty, but we haven't made a move. We're caught inside this gentle, slow and easygoing groove. I don't think I have anything I need to hide or prove when I am here beside you in the safety of your love. You tell me of your childhood dreams, I'll tell you of my fears. We're washing out the sorrows of the long and lonely years. And every quiet confession is like music to my ears. The sound of your true honesty is drying all my tears. And I wish upon this coffee ring, this table made of wood. I wish upon this quiet, gentle, misunderstood and perfect little feeling, that if I only could, I would stay right in this moment. And I know you would. Our little constellation, just me and you, a galaxy for two, shining through, forever old and new. Our constellation, me and you. Me and you. I found that wrinkled ticket stub from our first movie show, tucked inside a winter coat I bought so long ago.
And I remember shivering not from the falling snow, but a nervous kind of wonder, watching something start to grow.
It's a collection of the small things, the memories the seasons bring, the simple song our story sings. You and I, we have a scrapbook heart, it's filled up to the brim with Polaroids and inside jokes and every little whim. It isn't polished, neat or new, it's frayed around the rim, but it's our own beautiful story, our own private hymn.
page for that rainy Tuesday. We felt lucky to be alive. Every smudge, every tear stain helps our memories survive. It's the proof of all the moments that we took the time to thrive. We're not a headline story, we're not a work of art. We're just two people learning how to play their given part. Gluing down the moments right here in our scrapbook heart, right from the very start. A scrapbook heart, filled it from the start. Our own work of art, a brand new part. You're humming off key to a song on the radio. You've got a little coffee stain that only I would know. Right there on the sleeve of that old sweater that you love. You say you look a mess, but you're a gift from up above. I see that little scar above your eyebrow, faint and white, from when you fell off your blue bike and gave your folks a fright. You try to hide it with your hair, but I just love the sight, 'cause it tells a little story in the morning's gentle light. People write their poems about a flawless marble face, a beauty that could launch 1,000 ships and leave no trace. But all I want is your familiar, warm and safe embrace. I don't need a masterpiece hung in a gallery hall. I don't need a fairy tale to answer my heart's call. I'm in love with your crooked smile lines when you laugh and when you fall. They show me every moment that you've given me your all. So let the world go chasing something shiny, new and tall. I'll be right here tracing patterns on your hand against the wall. 'Cause your beautiful imperfections are the reason I stand tall. You're not just someone that I love, you're the best part of it all. Remember that one evening when you tried to cut your hair, the lopsided disaster, you just stood there in despair. We laughed until we cried, sitting on the bathroom chair. And I've never seen a person look so beautiful, I swear. You burn the toast on Sundays, you can never find your keys. You sing the wrong words to the songs with such confident ease. And it's in these human moments carried on the autumn breeze that my restless searching spirit is finally put at ease. Perfection isn't something that you find, it's something that you build with every quiet promise that is spoken and fulfilled, with every storm you weather and every fear that you have stilled. It's a garden that you grow until your heart is truly filled. Just your crooked smile lines, every single one. A map of where we've been and all the things we've done, brighter than the morning sun. Yeah, you're the only one. I saw a photo day, a candid stolen view.
You were looking at somebody and they were looking back at you. There's a light there in your eyes that I can say I never knew.
It seems you found the missing shade to make your skies feel blue. And for a moment my heart skipped.
A bitter memory dripped from a long forgotten script. And I hope he sees the starlight that you hide behind your smile.
I hope he lets you be quiet for a long and lovely while.
for you with patience and with style. And I hope you found your harbor
After swimming all those miles.
I remember all your dreams, you'd whisper in the dark, to travel somewhere distant, just to leave your little mark. I was too busy with my own, trying to create a spark. I never saw the captain leaving her own sinking ark. Maybe I was just a chapter, a lesson you moved past,
a temporary shelter that was never built to last.
The future's in your hands now, the die has long been cast.
On your new horizon,
The sky so wide and blue, I'm happy for you, I really am.
The sun is painting sails on the wall behind your head. 1,000 shades of amber, golden, fiery, burning red. You're talking about your mundane week, the silly things you said. But I'm lost inside a universe of every word instead. Your coffee's getting cold now, you haven't taken a sip. There's a universe of stories living right there on your lips. And I'm catching every single one, a quiet, gentle drip. I'm scared that if I blink too fast, this perfect moment's gonna slip. And maybe this is foolish, maybe this is just a phase, to be caught up in the beauty of these slow and golden days. But I'm looking at you now through a warm and happy haze. And every time a sunbeam makes a halo in your hair, I send a silent message on a soft and hopeful prayer. Just let this be forever, a whisper on the air. Let me always see the magic in the simple way you care. 'Cause in this golden hour, everything just feels so true. The noisy world outside just fades, and all I see is you. And I'm making quiet wishes that I hope are coming through. 'Cause every single one of them begins and ends with you. The barista's cleaning tables, the day is winding down. The street lights are all coming on in this sleepy little town. You're laughing at a memory, a gentle, happy sound. And I'm trying hard to memorize the way you look right now. You trace a little pattern on the condensation ring from your long forgotten iced tea, a simple little thing. But to me it is a symphony, the sweetest song to sing. A portrait of the quiet joy that only you can bring. I used to think that love was like a firework so grand, a big and loud explosion that you had to understand. But it's really just the feeling of your hand inside my hand, the safest, warmest place in all the land. My golden hour thoughts, they're all of you. I hope they're coming true, I really hope they do. Oh, the golden thoughts of you. pride was like a fortress with the windows painted black. I was living in the echo of my own soundtrack. You were sending signals, but my radio was cracked. I only heard the static, there was no turning back. I made you a supporting role in a story I control, and it finally took its toll. Hey, yeah. And all I hear now is the silence that you left behind for me. A quiet, empty frequency where I can finally see. I was so caught up in the person I was trying hard to be. I couldn't be the partner that you desperately needed me to be. I wanted your attention, but I couldn't give you time. I wanted your forgiveness for a non-existent crime. I was climbing my own mountain in my own imagined prime, and I left you at the bottom with the rhythm and the rhyme. Ooh, it's a lonely conversation with the man I was back then. I tell him to wake up and try to listen once again. Ooh, but you can't rewind a story with a regretful pen. Just static and silence where your voice used to be. It's all that's left for me to finally see. You had a way with poetry, you'd write it on the fly. You knew the perfect compliments that you should best apply. You'd hold my hand in public with a sentimental sigh. You played the part so perfectly, I couldn't ask you why. Why I felt a little hollow, why I felt a little cold, like a story that was written down and beautifully sold. A legend that was meant to be remembered and retold. But the pages felt so empty and the ink was looking old. You knew the lines for every scene, you hit every single mark. A perfect leading lover, a bright and shining spark. But the lights would all go down when we were sitting in the dark. Was it all just rehearsed affection from a well-written dog-eared script? Every I love you that you whispered, every secret from your lip. Was I just the perfect audience for your emotional trip? On a beautiful but empty, lonely, sinking, ghost-filled ship. You cry at all the right times, and you'd laugh right on the cue. You painted a romantic scene for everyone to view, and I was in the painting too. I really thought I knew the artist, not the actor, that was standing in for you. You gave me flowers on a Tuesday, for no reason you would say, and all our friends would praise you for the role you had to play. The perfect, thoughtful partner at the closing of the day. Hey, but your eyes were looking past me in a vacant sort of way, as if you were observing your own grand and fine design, checking if the performance was particularly benign. Every single action was a calculated sign, and I mistook your artistry for something truly mine. The curtain has come down now, and the theater is all bare. There are no more lines to read now, there's no more mask to wear, and I see you in the silence, and there's nobody else there. Just an actor taking balls to an empty wooden chair. Rehearsed affection, the show is finally through. The final act for me and you. And I applaud the view.
of a life that isn't you. Your side of the closet is looking bigger than it should. I haven't moved a single thing I told myself I would, but the scent of you still lingers in that old gray woolen hood. And throwing that away would feel misunderstood. I sleep right in the middle of the bed these lonely nights, pretending that I'm taking up the space with all my might. But in the dark I feel the coldness creeping from the right, a constant stark reminder of our long and bitter fight. I keep the bathroom light on just like you used to do, and tell myself it's for me, but I know it's still for you. Just in case you're coming home, a silly dream that isn't new. I'm living in a kingdom that was built for two, alone, surrounded by the silence of a cold and empty throne. I have twice the room to breathe, but feel more trapped inside my bones. In this castle made for us, now made of sticks and stones. I have half the heart I started with, and double all the loans of memories I can't pay back, just haunting quiet drones. Cause you took up more than half the space in all my happy zones, and now I'm just the echo of our laughter's overtones. Your favorite coffee mug is clean, it's sitting on the rack. I used it once and it felt wrong, a train thrown off its track. There are books you never finished in a teetering tall stack, a story left unfinished that will never get you back. I see your footprints in the dust on floors I haven't swept, a silent fading testament to promises unkept. I find the hairs you left behind inside a box I've kept, proof that you were real and not just someone I've dreamt. It's strange how something empty can feel heavier than stone. This freedom that I thought I wanted, I have never felt less grown. You were the architecture and I was just the cornerstone. And now the building's falling and I'm weathering it alone. Just half the space in our old place, no trace of your face. The coffee shop we used to love still has the same old sign. I see our ghosts are sitting there, frozen in a time when we thought forever was a promise, not a lie. Something you just say to make the moment feel benign. And though the seasons changing, the leaves are letting go, and there's a part of me that wonders if you know some things you only learn to see long after they don't show. That in another autumn under different color skies, I would have been much better at translating your goodbyes. I would have held you longer, I would have tried to recognize the little things I didn't see behind your tired eyes. I hear a song we used to play, it drifts in from the street, a bittersweet reminder of a feeling incomplete. I was so busy winning battles, I didn't see defeat, creeping in the silence every single time we meet. It's not about the blame now, it's not about the score, it's just a quiet understanding of what I was searching for. And knowing I'm the only one who could have given more, and I hope the one you're with now knows what your heart is for. Another autumn comes around,
without a sound. Another autumn, another autumn. This life is like a novel that somebody wrote for us, with complicated chapters full of drama, full of fuss. We are not the heroes making history to discuss. We're the quiet background characters whom the author trusts. We don't steal the spotlight, we don't own the final page. We're just building our own story on a much, much smaller stage. Our forever isn't in the headlines, loud and bright and bold. It's a little secret story that is waiting to be told. It's written in the margins, in the silver and the gold. A quiet kind of love that never ever will grow old. I see you 10 years from now with a little more gray hair, still stealing all the blankets, still sitting in that chair. And I'll be right there with you, breathing in that same night air. A silent promise that I'll always, always be right there.
Let the main plot twist and turn. Let the drama rage and burn. We have a simpler lesson that we've taken time to learn.
That the best part of the book is our own quiet, slow return to the story that's our own, the one we both truly earn. Written in the margin, in silver and in gold, a story to be told that won't grow old. 51 twos. There's a whisper of the winter on the window pane this morn. The world's been painted silver since the moment I was born. A fragile sheet of crystal on a sharp and frosted thorn, a sign that all the golden summer days are getting worn. I pulled a blanket higher up to shield you from the chill. The house is quiet, calm and deep. The world is standing still. And looking at you sleeping now, my heart begins to fill with a feeling that's more powerful than my own stubborn will. I'm no longer just wishing on the stars that fade above. This is not a fragile hope now or a temporary love. It's the feeling of a hand that fits so perfectly in a glove. And as I see the first frost, I can make my first true promise that I will be your shelter when the skies are less than honest. I will be your summer when the winter is upon us. A quiet, steady comfort that is true and deep and modest. So let the seasons turn and change, let the cold winds start to blow. We will watch the barren branches as they're decorated by the snow. 'Cause deep inside this warmth with you is all I need to know. You are the seed of springtime that will always, always grow. I remember being scared of all the cold and lonely nights, of the darkness and the shadows and the flickering city lights. I was always searching for the most spectacular of heights and ignoring all the simple and the beautiful of sights. But you have taught me how to find the magic in the small, the beauty in the quiet and the grace to stand up tall.
on the sunlight that is melting all the frost. For all the time we've gained and for the time we haven't lost. I would pay any price now, I would gladly pay the cost to keep this promise with you, with my fingers truly crossed. The first frost, the first promise to always have and hold a story to be told as we grow old. More precious than pure gold, a love that won't grow cold. Slow down, 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 slow down. A traveler, I have been a storm, searching for a shelter just to keep my spirit warm, building walls around me just to keep me safe from harm. Didn't know that peace could have a face and have an arm, and the world can rage outside my door. I don't feel it anymore, 'cause you're the peace I was fighting for. I found a harbor in your hands, a port within your soul, a quiet place that takes the broken pieces, makes them whole. You calm the restless ocean that was taking its own toll. With you right here beside me, I have finally lost control. All the hurried places, all the frantic rushing pace, they all seem to vanish when I look upon your face. You have got a stillness, you have got a simple grace. You're my true north, my center in this dizzy spinning space. I don't need a map now, I don't need a map now, I don't need a map now, I don't need a game now, I don't need a map now, I don't need a guiding star, 'cause my destination's always right there where you are. No matter how I wander, it never feels too far. A harbor in your head, a quiet shore. I'm not searching anymore, no, no, no. The world wants a love that's painted in the brightest reds and blues, a finished flawless canvas that will make the evening news, a statue carved from marble that a cynic can't refuse, a symphony with soaring strings for all the world's reviews. But darling, you and I, we're not like that at all, you see. We're a charcoal sketch on paper that was crumpled at the knee. We're a half-forgotten melody in some minor gentle key. We're a poem that is still not done, beautifully free. We're racing and we're starting new lines every other day. We're mixing all the colors till they turn a lovely gray, and I wouldn't have it any other single way. 'Cause this is not a product, it's a process and a choice. It's the art of us, it's listening to quiet inner voice. It's finding reasons every single morning to rejoice in the messy, lovely, beautiful, and complicated noise. And our forever isn't hanging in a gilded golden frame. It's in the way you whisper my forgotten middle name. It's a slow and steady burning, not a wild and crazy flame. It's the art of us, a truly perfect ever change. clumsy brushstrokes and the lines you draw askew. I love the way you're not afraid to paint something brand new, right over all the parts of me I thought were ugly. Through and through, you color me with kindness in a way I never knew. We're not a classic novel with a beginning and an end. We're the notes passed in the classroom from a lover and a friend. We're the story that we're making up on which we can depend. And the broken parts are just the ones we've learned the best to mend. So let them have their sculptures, let them have their sold out shows. We have a truer masterpiece, as everybody knows. It's the simple, steady way our quiet little garden grows. The most beautiful of all the arts, I would suppose. Just the art of us, a quiet, steady flame. The way you whisper my name, it's a perfect game. And I'm so glad I came to play the art of us.
La da 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 ba ba. My phone didn't ring this morning for the first time in a year. There was no manufactured crisis, no imaginary tear. I made a cup of coffee and the kitchen felt so wide. There were no expectations where I had to run and hide. I read a couple pages of a book I left halfway. I didn't have to listen to the things you had to say about the way the world had wronged you in 100 different ways. I'm just breathing in the quiet of these new and gentle days. And remember how my friends would watch me with concern, a lesson that it took me far too long to finally learn. Some fires burn so brightly just to leave a deeper burn. And though the sound of your absence is the sweetest song I've heard, it's a quiet, gentle melody in every unspoken word. I thought I'd be left broken, I thought my world would be a blur, but the silence that you left me is the only thing I've preferred. I'm finally hearing my own thoughts without the noise. You made it beautiful and simple, unaccompanied. Lit an angel stepping from the shadow. I'm no longer in your shade. The debt I thought I owed to you has finally been paid. I took a walk this afternoon, no destination in my mind. I didn't have to check my watch or leave my peace behind. I watched the autumn leaves fall down, the gentle, patient kind, and felt a knot inside my chest begin to finally unwind. I used to walk on eggshells in a palace made of glass, afraid a single misplaced word would never, ever pass. But the meadow that I'm in now is a field of open grass, and the storm I thought was my fault I can finally see alas. It's not that I wish you any harm, it's not that I feel hate. It's more like I have walked out of a heavy iron gate. I'm closing it behind me now, it's getting rather late to ponder on the twisted, tangled workings of your fate. Just the sound of your absence, a quiet, gentle tune beneath the pale and hazy afternoon autumn moon. I found myself so soon in the quiet of this room.
with words, the clever, witty kind, the ones that build a fortress, leave the real truth far behind. I could win an argument and leave you feeling blind, but I never learned to speak the language of your mind. The air would get so heavy, the space between us grew. The most important things I never said to you. I should have learned the language of silence, read the quiet in your side. I should have been your comfort when the world just passed you by. But I was speaking volumes about the things I had to try, and I missed the silent teardrop that was forming in your eye. You'd be staring out the window at the slowly fading light, and I would ask you what is wrong and try to make things right. But all you really needed was for me to hold you tight and just sit there in the darkness and share the lonely night. And the pause, I finally understand the unspoken hidden clause. I was writing my own story, ignoring yours, because the silence had a language that I couldn't understand. I should have held your hand. Faster, faster, don't you dare fall behind. A race that has no finish line for you to ever find.
You can lose your footing, you can even lose your mind,
in the search for something that you're meant to leave behind. But with you the clock just seems to melt. The truest thing I've ever felt
is the hand that I've been dealt.
I don't want the rush of gold, I don't want the victory's glow. I just want this steady slow, watching our small garden grow. Let the wild winds come and blow. We have gotta know where to go,
'cause everything I need to know
I learn here in this steady slow. The world can have the chaos, we will have the pale moonlight.
We're building our own kingdom, now with power, now with might.
But with tiny little moments that just feel so true and right. Some may call it boring, some may say we're standing still,
but they don't see the magic on this ordinary hill.
It's a quiet kind of promise, a resilient kind of will. This steady slow,
Watching our garden grow, it's all I need to know. With you,
the city moves so fast, it's a frantic, blurry scene. Everyone's in costume, playing king or playing queen, chasing after something on a flashing silver screen. But we are walking different, somewhere in between. We don't need to run to win, we just let the journey sink right in. A new chapter can begin. Ooh. got that evergreen pace in a world of red and gold. A story that is patient and is waiting to unfold. You're the warmth that I come home to when the autumn air gets cold. A truth that won't get tired, a love that won't get old. The leaves are turning brown, now they fall down to the ground. A symphony of letting go in every little sound. But in your steady presence, a constant thing is found. You are the roots beneath me, holding firm and profound. Let the seasons change their clothes, let the wind begin to bite. We will keep on walking from the morning to the night, moving at the speed of trust and at the speed of light. Everything with you just feels right. Gee, that evergreen pace in a world of red and gold. A story to be told, a love